scraps though. I want something I can craft with. Is this underwear? So this is real fur. It's not a DVD, guys. We got a VHS. Does that mean Ration coupons? Now, if you thought the 1950s wedding dress was special, this one is from the 1930s. So Ben is about to kill me. Also, if you can hear a buzzing, it's because there's a mozzie in here and it's really annoying. But I just wanted to pick up a handful of embroidery supplies. I have a big embroidery project that I want to do next year, and these were free off Facebook Marketplace. Blooming mozzie. No, keep the light on. And essentially, the lady was like, oh, you sew? Here, have a cargo crate of vintage sewing patterns and fabric that my deceased mother has left. And there are some very interesting things in there. I haven't had a proper look, but I'm very excited to, and Ben is going to kill me. I also got an overlocker and a sewing machine, and earlier this week I got another sewing machine. Hopefully we're moving next week. Fingers crossed, because I don't have space for this if we don't. Hi, hello, buongiorno. Welcome to Annabelle and Ben's Antics, and if you have been here for a little while, yeah, so we moved. Literally the week before Christmas, we were offered this amazing little apartment, and you know what? We just couldn't turn it down, so here we are. Ben has done some interesting stuff with the bed. If you want to see how we did that, it's all on our Patreon. Otherwise, my stuff still needs organising, because the thing is, before moving, I had no time off work, so we were moving things in here at like 9, 10 o'clock at night. I apologise if any of my neighbours are watching this, because I know that we dropped a few things and that must have been unpleasant. Sorry, very, very sorry, but when you work very long days, 6 days a week, you take whatever time you can to get into an actual house that you don't have to share with other people. Honestly, I have some nightmare stories about the last place we were at. Not sure if I'm ever going to be sharing those, but if you do want to hear them, please put it in a comment down below. But the exciting thing today is, guys, that this pile of stuff right here is the last stuff that needs unpacking, and this stuff is very special because right before we found out we were moving, I might have gotten into a bit of trouble on Facebook Marketplace again. So if you've seen my 80s clothes haul, which I did a few months ago, I suppose at this point, I like to browse Facebook and I often look for things that are being given away for free for whatever reason. I particularly like vintage things, vintage clothing, vintage sewing supplies, and I have a few really big embroidery projects coming up. So when I saw a bunch of embroidery materials being advertised for free and advertised as vintage, I couldn't say no. Long story short, I showed up at this lady's house and we got chatting. The embroidery stuff was from her deceased mother, and then she goes, oh, you sew as well? Well, I have a massive crate full of things from my mother's sewing room that hasn't been touched since the 1950s. Does this seem like something I could even try and say no to? Girly Bear, do you honestly think I was going to say no to a box of 1950s fabric? No, I didn't think I'd say no either, which is why I said yes. Thus, this pile of things has been living in my car for the last 3 weeks. Ben's reaction when I brought it home was interesting, to say the least. So Ben, this is my haul of things that I got from a very nice person. Opened the boot. Anything to say, darling? That would be a no then. And I will quickly say that in amongst all this stuff is some actual animal fur. I don't know how much, but there is at least one actual fur creature, and I believe there is several more in this crate. If you don't want to see that, my apologies. I will try and keep those bits as short as possible. I think me trying to justify why I'm keeping the fur probably is just going to end with pissing a bunch of people off, which we don't want to do. So let's just stop that and get on to the unboxing, which is, let's face it, what we are all actually here for. Now, when I was packing all this stuff into my car, I did have a little bit of a glance through it, but honestly, I haven't had a proper look at it yet. So let's start with the embroidery stuff, which is the things that I originally went to pick up. First things first, we have this embroidery frame. Well, I don't know if you call it an embroidery frame. I've seen these around before, but I've never actually used one. But essentially, you put it next to you, and then you clip your item of embroidery in here so that you can have it just sat above your lap and doing it. I've never used one. I think that it should be quite useful, especially considering some of the hand projects I'm going to be doing are going to be quite detailed and large. I feel like this is a good piece of equipment to have. Hopefully I'll use it. If I don't, we will rehome it, but I quite like it for the moment. Also, the base of it is like solid metal. The top is actually wood. So yeah, this thing's not breaking anytime soon, and I actually do really like it. Do I have anywhere to put it? Honestly, probably not. This apartment is utterly tiny and we've kind of struggled for space so far, but we will do what we can. Also, if there is a humming or some banging in the background, I, one, have the air conditioner on because it is the middle of Australian summer here, and boy oh boy is it hot. And the banging is because 2 doors up, the windows and doors were broken into. Yeah, we live in a really safe neighborhood, and no, I'm not lying, we actually do live in a really safe neighborhood. Some dodgy people just moved in. They've been here about 4 days. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Alrighty, the next item is this lovely little embroidery plate. I actually have used one of these before, but I've never owned one, and essentially you've got your embroidery hoop, sits on top of that. So again, you can sit it on your lap and work with having this gap underneath. Now, unfortunately, this one did have some stuff dropped onto it while it was in storage in the car, and it sat on, so it has stretched the fabric a bit. There is some beautiful hand embroidery started, a design of a little bird. From what the lady said, this was supposed to be part of a bigger design, but she couldn't find the rest of it. So either I'll finish it and frame it, or I will just make up some stuff to go around it. The fabric is lovely. It's all embossed and gorgeous. I really, really adore it. And the embroidery frame itself is super solid. This would probably be very expensive to buy. And it makes me sad that this lady's mother has passed away without getting to finish these projects. So really, I want to do the best I can with them and actually get them done so that they can be proudly displayed. Next up, we have this little bag of goodies. Now, I'm not quite sure what's in here, but by the looks of things, lots of threads that have potentially come... Oh yes, that is an utter mess. Oh, okay, so we have some zips, some... Oh, what is this? So we have a magnet with sewing needles attached to it, and that is just adorable. And look at the little metal tin it comes in. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, there's a lot of embroidery wool here, and a lot of it has kind of unraveled, but it's all very nice stuff. I think a lot of it is cotton. Not that I'm an expert on wool. For that, you guys will need to go and check out Retro Claude. Oh, this one is lovely though. I'm not sure if that's just one wool, if it's a combination. I think it's actually a braided combination, but just check out this color palette. Isn't that lovely? Also, out of interest, what do you guys think of the lighting situation in my new place? Me and Ben were debating getting some filming lights, but I can't decide whether or not I think it's worth it, because honestly, the daylight is fairly good. Not that we always have daylight, but you know, tis one of those things. There's also all these little balls that she's clearly wound herself because they're really tightly done, which I don't think is how they've ever really sold wool, but correct me if I'm wrong because I'm certainly no expert. It's like your traditional cat will play with it kind of ball. God, these are lovely. So me and Ben a little while ago, we managed to get a knitting machine from the 1950s for $5 at a car boot. For those not in Australia, that is roughly £2.50 in the UK. I have no idea what that would translate to into American. I have no idea if it works. It really needs a clean. I wanted to clean it over Christmas, but I've ended up spending Christmas doing loads of coursework, which, oh yes, by the way guys, I managed to smash out 5 months worth of coursework in 1 week. Dude with a hammer is really going at it. Ben would be impressed. So yes, I now have a certificate in digital marketing, which is really, really exciting because this year my New Year's resolution is actually to have an artist alley stall. What am I going to be selling? 2 things, hopefully. 1 is a variety of embroidery patterns. 2 is a cosplay sewing book. I'm still writing it. I need to get it edited. I need to get it published. I'm not expecting to have it for the first few conventions I do, but it's coming. It's on its way. If you want to see previews of it, you would join the Discord or Patreon, because that's the only place I'm going to be sharing information until it is ready to be sold. But oh my gosh guys, I'm really excited. It's coming along so nice. So it looks like we have a variety of knitting needles here. I've got to be honest, I do not know how to knit, but I would like to learn, so these should come in useful. We've also got a couple of zippers, nothing too fancy, and they do seem to work, so those can go into my zipper bag. Okay, I think this is as neat as we're getting the box for the moment. I will try and go through it a little bit more just to neaten it up even more, but for now that will do. One of my challenges for this video is also to get this all organized and packed away, because we were moving, a lot of random things got chucked in random boxes, so my sewing stash is no longer even close to organized, which is annoying because I like knowing where to look for things when I want them. Having said that, organizing the sewing stash is half the fun because it means I get to see everything that I've got and make all the plans of the things that I'm not going to get a chance to sew because I'm working on big cosplay projects. But I can dream. Oh, there's a note. Oh god, that's beautiful handwriting. That reminds me of my nan. Oh, and it's written on the inside of a Knit Me label. What does this say? Right, so I'm dyslexic and this handwriting is really, really fancy. So if I get this wrong, I am so sorry. It says, "Dear Lacey," maybe? "Can you buy 4 something, please? 6 only balls of that wool in brown and grey and maybe blue. If in cheap, please buy 6 of each. Thank you. Please note this is to keep in pack, not to be sent in February." That's so cute. All right, I'm putting that in with the embroidery stuff to keep. So these are a bunch of sewing machine stuff. That goes with the sewing machine. Yes, we got more sewing machines. No, Ben was not happy. All right, we have a little bit of tulle here and some sparkly blue fur. Oh, that's interesting. Can you guys see the glitter on that? Jeez Louise. So this is real fur. When I said there was going to be fur, I knew there was one creature which is fairly common to hunt. This doesn't look like a creature that's common to hunt. It's also, is this a fur bow tie? Oh my gosh, it is. It's got the little hole and everything. Is this cheetah or leopard? Am I currently wearing an endangered species? Oh, it is so soft though. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Who would wear a fur bow tie? Yeah, that is different. That is not what I was expecting. Okay, so I have been assessing this leopard print bow tie, and the conclusion that I've come to is that it's not actually a bow tie. So, I've done a bit of research, and what I think it is I think it's like a collar piece that's meant to go around your dress. So it goes around your neck like that, and then where the buttonhole is, you pop it through, and I think it's supposed to sit about like this. It's very cute, and I have to admit, very warm. I am mildly considering actually wearing this, I don't know, at some point. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, I have been vegan and vegetarian before, and I have mixed feelings about this, but at the same time, this is a 70, 80-year-old piece of clothing. I'm not getting rid of it for the simple reason that it is historical, and I want to try and preserve this for, I would say, future generations. I'm not having kids. For future people who want to maybe use it, who I can eventually pass it down to, and honestly, how adorable is that? So will this get worn in my wardrobe? Honestly, I'm not sure, but I am going to keep it. It is very cute. It is not a bow tie. It is a little scarfy thing, and I love it to pieces. Also, definitely the weirdest thing in my wardrobe that I now own. Oh gosh, now I'm worried about what else is in this bag. Oh, we have some gloves. Okay, you know what? That's nice. Gloves are good. So gloves are something I use quite a lot with the cosplay. They are quite tight. I feel like they would fit on my hand if I just undid the seam here a little bit and maybe added some buttons, but to be honest, my fingers are relatively fat. Yeah, that's a bit small for my hand, but you know what could be worse? We have more fur. I was hoping the fur wouldn't start till further in, but we have more fur. This one is, I was about to say it was rabbit, but I don't think that's rabbit. But I don't know what it is. Is it a collar? Look at that stitching on the inside. So I don't necessarily think it's a collar. I don't know what fur this is. Dog, maybe? Wolf? Do you guys have any guess? It's very layered, something a bit Arctic, I think. Also, I've just noticed there's poppers on the inside, so this clearly attached to a garment at one point or another, and I'm fairly certain, oh yes, definitely. So that's actually quite a nice collar. I might use that for something. I'm not entirely sure what, considering, again, I live in Australia and it's hot here, but you know what? I'd rather make use of it than throw it away. Kind of terrified what else is in this bag now. No idea what this is, other than it is some kind of stiffened tape. I'm gonna guess that one of you guys probably know exactly what this is and what it's used for, so please tell me in the comments down below. We are now getting to the exciting bits, and I want to show you guys this. It is a pile of patterns. Oh, that one's nice. Okay, it doesn't say what year it's from, but this thing is amazing. It kind of reminds me of the traveling pattern dress. Maybe I'll have to start sending a new one around because, oh gosh, this is pretty. So this one is from 1975, and I think what I'm actually going to do is try and find some fabric in this stash to actually make this pattern. So if you see anything that will go well, let me know. Oh gosh, this one's faded and obviously been wet. So this one doesn't give a year either, but looking at it, I'm thinking 1950s, 1960s. I really hope all the pieces are here for this. That looks like a wrap dress. Patchwork really didn't learn to put dates on their patterns for a very long time. I'm not sure what decade this is from. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say 1960s, but if you want to correct me, please do. Oh, this one's good. So these skirts look to be more of an A-line rather than a circle skirt, but honestly, I will happily give this a go because they look adorable. And look, she's written the details on the back as well for when she makes them. This is from 1975, people, and honestly, 10 out of 10. I love it. I just don't think I would wear it myself. Very princessy though. Now this is 1960s. 1960s Vogue to be exact. Vogue for young fashionables, easy to make. Honestly, these dresses are quite cute, but I'm not sure they'd suit me because I'm a little bit curvier than I think they're really designed for. I love them. This can go in my collection anyway. I'm pretty sure 1960s, but again, no date. Why do none of these patterns have a date? I used to sell vintage sewing patterns, by the way, so I am rather well versed in where I should be looking for a date. It doesn't have one. Oh my god, I love it. Look, slimmer pattern. I need that. 1974. I should just do a 1970s makeover at this point because all my clothes that I love are 1970s right now. Oh look, she's written on this one as well. 1954 Vogue pattern. I didn't pay for any of this, by the way, and some of these are very, very nice patterns. I just hope they all have the right pieces. That is gorgeous and glamorous, and I think I'm gonna have to do a vintage pattern making series now because I can't let these just sit in my drawer doing nothing. So a lot of what's left in this bag is just wool. A really good variety of wool though. Like, this stuff is solid. I think this one's actually cotton, maybe. Spider! I can't wait to see the slow motion terror on my face. Editing Annabelle, do you want to play that back for the people so that they may be entertained by the fact that I live in Australia and don't like bugs? And with that, oh look, more wool. Oh, this one's soft. I like that. The purple's nice. I could do with some of that in my life. I'm more of a crocheter than a knitter, so maybe I'll try and get a crochet hook or two. Haha, gold. We have thread. So we have 2 green threads. I quite like those. I will put these in stash. There is 300 yards and it sews any fabric and it's polyester, so it should be fine. Oh, hello. I feel like Jessica Rabbit wearing these. Oh, I like. They're a weird material. I'm not quite sure what they're made of. It's definitely synthetic. It feels like a really thin leather, but it's definitely plastic. It's also horrendously smooth. I would have no grip in these whatsoever were I to actually try and grasp something. But for a ball gown event, you know what? We can make this work. Oh wow, those are style choice. Look, I've got to be honest, the ruching is lovely and the color is so me, but I don't like the combination. Having said that, I think it would go well with some of the 1980s clothes that I had in my last haul. So yeah, they're gonna stay, but that, people, means the first bag is now officially done. And as a bonus, because it keeps falling on my back, there's this thing. So the lady gave this to me and asked if I wanted it, and I was umming and ahhing, and she's like, oh, it's for patterns, you have to take it. Essentially, it's a magnetic board. We've got this little see-through plastic ruler. You can have your paper on it. There is instructions, and it's a soft ivory coloured office style with function. It's a graph board, basically. Graph board for sewing patterns. You know what? That's pretty damn cute. I think it can stay. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to use it, but I definitely will. I'm sure when I eventually have a proper workspace or office, it can go pride of place. And with that, I'm going to give you guys a fur warning, because this is the one thing that the lady was like, I'm not sure if you're actually going to want this. I'm just going to quickly show you guys what Ben's reaction was when he opened this bag. So Ben, this is your present and bribe for letting me keep the crate of fabric I have just acquired. Please open. It's a fox.
It's a literal fox.
It's a literal fox.
What the?
Yeah, that's what I said. Put it on.
No.
It goes around your neck.
This poor creature.
Yeah, look, it's already dead. It's been dead for like 50 years. What does it smell like, Lily? What does 50-year-old fox smell like to you? So yes, inside this bag, we have a fox. The legs for me are the creepy part. I really don't like them, and it's still got its claws, which is really creepy, and they all face the wrong way, and the foot's really deformed. That's weird. Look, I'm gonna keep it for costumes because occasionally, especially if you're cosplaying some of the older stuff, this would be handy. I've just realized it. So it has this chain, and on the back of the head it has this bit. And I think this is supposed to hook into the chain to keep it around your neck. What am I, some kind of rich duchess? Oh gosh, look at that. Well, it goes with my ginger hair, I suppose. There is something else in this bag. I'm not quite... Oh, so this one is a fox that hasn't been made into a scarf. Thankfully, this one is without its feet. It's also without half of its face. Oh boy. Am I gonna have to blur this out so YouTube doesn't demonetize me? This is grim. Can we also just acknowledge the fact that I got all this for free from a random person on Facebook, and like, is it just me, or do I just get the weirdest stuff? Every single time I get weird outfits, I get bow ties made of leopard or cheetah or something. Okay, so this is the last bag of embroidery stuff and the last thing in the original set that I went to collect. We have an embroidery hoop. Nothing special. It's cute. It works. Haven't really got a lot at the moment, so I'll definitely keep it and I'll definitely use it. We also have an embroidery frame. Now, I actually love these. I have a really big one that I got when I was a teenager that I think I got it from a crafting shop, and it was their X-Display model that they used to put all their big embroidery projects on, and they were discontinuing their embroidery lines, so they wanted rid of it, and I got it for like £10. This one's a lot smaller, but I kind of like that because it makes it a lot easier to work with, and my problem with my ginormous one is that it is ginormous, and a lot of the time you just don't need that. We have some embroidery scissors. Oh, those are so cute. I love them. Look at those. So we have this thing, and genuinely no idea what this is. Anyone got a clue? Oh, no, don't break the embroidery frame. So this is another what looks to be a very large embroidery project of a ship. It is half done, and I'm looking at the thread colours. I think these do match the threads that are just in the boxes here, which is honestly a bit odd because normally when my nan made these ones, she always embroidered it with wool, but it looks like they've used actual embroidery silk, which is cute because it means you can still see all the holes. So I think my plan with this is going to be to leave it next to the sofa so that I can pick it up and do it just as and when. So this looks like the sewing pattern. So that's what it's going to end up looking like. So next we have what I think is one of the more interesting things that I got given, which is this patterner. Now, trousers are a bit of a bugbear for me. I'm not very good at them. I've done a few. Ben's Snow White ones came out, but that did take several mock-ups and a lot of tries, and technically they also got ripped halfway through and we've had to patch it. We just did a really good job of it. This allows you to pattern and fit the pants exactly to fit you. Apparently you get a DVD. Let's open it up. I want to see this. So it should be a bunch of rulers. It's It's not a DVD, guys. We got a VHS. An instructional VHS. I might need to get a VHS player just to watch this. And now for the two bits that I know most of you have been waiting for, the sewing machine and overlocker. Just quickly, I suppose, we've got this bag of down, like actual duck down. Not a lot there. I don't know what to do with it. I've never worked with down before, but tis soft and fluffy. Now, I was told that both of these machines are from the 1970s. I'm not sure how accurate that is because I haven't actually checked. Woohoo! Oh, look how adorable that is. It's really heavy and solid as well. Made of metal. Husqvarna 6370. I think Husqvarna is supposed to be quite a good brand of sewing machine. She said this one hasn't been used in about 20 years, so I don't know if she's going to work, but that's what we're going to find out in the official sewing machine unboxing video. No, I'm not doing it today. I need to pack and organise today. I can't try sewing machines, otherwise I'll be here for a week. However, you get to look at her. These are just the foot pedals for both the sewing machine and the overlocker. Also got the extension table and a bunch of extra feet. The overlocker, it is a hobby lock. I've not heard of them before. She doesn't look too dusty on the inside. She did fall over sideways, so one of her pins broke, but I've super glued it on. It feels all right. So this is another one that's going to be getting its own video. I have, like I mentioned before, not really used overlockers before, and I'm quite excited to experiment with vintage one. I also need to learn how to maintenance them. So this is going to be interesting, but again, if I start it today, I'm going to be here for hours, and someone wants to play Animal Crossing, so this is going to the side, but we will test it out next week. So when I went to collect all this stuff, me and the lady got along really well. We ended up swapping phone numbers, and a few days later she texted me, one because she'd actually forgotten to give me the cables to the sewing machine and overlocker, asked if I wanted to come pick them up, and when I showed up to collect those cables, she then also gave me this box, which is labelled Petra's hats. I have a mixture of both her deceased mother and her deceased sister's things. I don't know which one is Petra, but look at this cute little suitcase. There's one really special item in here that I did promise her I would utterly treasure because she could no longer keep it. So firstly, we have this. I will try this on another day because honestly it's very delicate and I don't want to damage it. The inside is stuffed with tissue paper. Next we have this adorable straw hat, which I genuinely love. This one is also stuffed with paper, but I will try that one on as well in little bits. And then this is what I had to promise to treasure. This is her mother's 1950s wedding crown, and honestly, other than the fact the tool has faded and torn and needs replacing, that could easily be unpicked and redone. I'm kind of considering wearing this for my own wedding because, oh my gosh, isn't that just adorable? It makes me feel like a princess, and she handmade this. Look how gorgeous it is. So first things first, this tiara is amazing. I love it. It looks so good. It doesn't really fit on my head, but I think it's kind of supposed to sit back here and be pinned in. This entire crown is handmade and it is utterly amazing. It really reminds me of Elsa and Anna's crowns from Frozen, just with the pattern. But yes, that is one of those things. It looks amazing. And of course we have the dress. Now this dress comes in several parts. Firstly, we have a cotton petticoat, which look, it is Australia, middle of summer here, and oh my god, it is so hot. Secondly, I think this is silk. So this is the underdress. It does have this weird kind of wire running through the bottom. I'm guessing this was to help hold it out in the heat. Oh, look how amazing that is though. And lastly, we do have the lace underlay. Not gonna lie, it's a little bit tight on the ribs, so I'm probably not gonna put it on again, but we can do it just once, and oh my gosh, this is amazing. So let's pop this on. Look at the beads on those sleeves. They're so cute, but obviously as a cheat, they're not gonna be buttons. They are done with poppers. Oh my gosh, guys. I feel like such a princess. Oh, look at it. I mean, look, it has some stains. There's definitely a bit of discoloration going on. It's not the white that it was, but this whole outfit, the tiara, the dress, the petticoat, I hope I feel this beautiful on my wedding day when I get to wear a wedding dress, because me and Ben still haven't had a proper wedding yet. No, I'm not going to be wearing this. I do have my own dress. However, seriously considering using the tiara can be my something old. So I am wearing an 80-year-old dress. Has it aged well since the 1950s? Before we go back to the main unboxing, while we're still on the mine for wedding dresses, the other thing the lady gave me is this. Now, if you thought the 1950s wedding dress was special, this one is from the 1930s. This is her grandmother's wedding dress. It is again made of silk, has a much longer train. I don't know if it's going to fit me, but we actually also have the pattern for this dress as well. So not only do I have the dress, but we have the pattern that this dress was made from. I think I should fit into this. Again, this is not something I'm going to wear regularly, but just for the sake of trying it on one occasion, I've got to try. A 1930s wedding dress, 90 years old. While I own this dress, it is going to turn 100. Tell me that isn't just a perfect excuse to remake it from the original pattern that this dress was made from. Let's get this one off. Let's get this one on, because oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is the original pattern for the dress, and this is the 1930s wedding dress. The silk on this is genuinely insane. It is such nice quality. It feels amazing. There's poppers and hooks and eyes to hold it all together. I'm guessing that whoever would have been wearing this obviously would have been wearing a corset. To be honest, I think if I was wearing a corset, this would have been way easier to get on because it did involve a lot of shuffling. Also, unfortunately, I was wondering why there was a safety pin in it, and it is because if I take the safety pin out, this entire shoulder has gone. By the looks of it, it's just that the stitching has come out, so I don't think it's anything that I can't fix. Whereas the 1950s one was made by her mother for her mother's wedding in the 1950s, this was made by her grandmother for her wedding in the 1930s, and it's amazing. It feels very Greek as well. I think just because one of the shoulders are broken, it's not quite sitting straight, but I love these sleeves. The back of the dress obviously has a very long train. The front of it is surprisingly short. Now, we know in the 1930s they were kind of getting a bit liberal, but I genuinely did not expect this dress to be the shorter of the two because I can just about see my shins, and that is shocking. It also has this lovely bit of ruching just here. I utterly adore it. Ben has just seen me in it, and he was asking me if I could make another version of this for our wedding, and I have my own wedding dress, I really do, but I am genuinely considering just making one because it's on my bucket list, and you only really have a big proper wedding once, and this one's supposed to be fun, and what's more fun than getting married in something you made? I am very tempted. Which one is your favourite out of the two though? Like, honestly, I think mine is going to be this one. And how does it compare to the pattern? What do you guys think? And now for the bit of the video I was personally most excited about, this box. Now this box, for one, it is disgusting. It is metal and it has rusted. It's some kind of travel crate. The latch is broken. I scratched my arm on it earlier and now I'm kind of scared I have tetanus. But what's inside it? That's what's special. Ta-da! Oh, actually, here are the pieces for the sewing machine, including, are these cams? We have cams! I didn't know the sewing machine had cams. So cams, for those who don't know, before stitches were built into the machines, you got these, and these have individual sewing patterns built in. So everyone is slightly different. Boy, does this thing need a clean though. Otherwise, we have some quite new sewing machine oil, which is good. Oh, and no, it's leaked. We have some Elna sewing machine oil, which seems to have leaked over some of the fabric, so oops. Right, before we get onto the fabric, let's see what this little box here is. Ooh, I'm not sure is the answer. So this seems to be a box containing what is called a unique zipper foot for unique zipper installation. Look, it looks a little complicated, so I'm not going to investigate it too much now, but when I do a proper trial and unboxing and making or signing in the sewing machine, we're going to use this. Not sewing related at all, but it is a pencil, and it is also a paintbrush. Kinda love that. This is the main item of clothing that seems to have had the oil leak on it. I am going to try this on, even though it's a little bit dirty, because it's a cute little princess night dress. So this night dress definitely needs a clean. It's got some marks on it because this was the top of the box at one point, keeping everything else neat and tidy. However, maybe I am just a grandma at heart, but I genuinely love this. It's made out of a really thin cotton, which I've got to be honest, we are in the middle of summer in Australia here, and whew, it is hot. So this is actually kind of perfect for just chilling around the house. It isn't stretchy, but it's so baggy it doesn't really matter. And belt test time. Okay, that's just adorable. Look, would I wear it out of the house? Probably not. Is this staying so that I can wear it around the house, especially when I'm filming videos? Hell yes. I just love this. I love everything about this, and I have absolutely no complaints. Oh my gosh. This fabric, not only is it soft, it is so pretty. Oh, this has to be some of my favourite fabric I've ever seen. Now the carrier bag, what's in the bag? So the carrier bag contains some knitted fabric pieces. There's a lot of pins in here, so I'm trying not to stab myself. That kind of looks like scraps from a project. Still, the knit stuff is very cute. I quite like that. We have some scraps of pink polka dots. So we did have a quick look through this box when she gave it to me because she wasn't sure if there's anything sentimental in there. And a few of these, she said that she remembered her mum wearing these dresses. So what I've got is obviously the leftovers from that. But how cute is the patchwork quilt I'm going to make with this going to be? That is a lovely fabric. I really wish there was more of that. Look how gorgeous that is. How I wish I had a few meters of this. Beautiful blue florals. Quite a few scraps of blue polka dots by the looks of things, and it has this awesome texture to it. I don't know if you can see, but that is very nice. Purple roses. Now look, purple is a colour that ages me quite a lot, but that is very adorable. I would kill to have more of this fabric. Vintage blue florals. That is nice. So sad. They're all such small pieces. So this feels like some kind of either thicker or upholstery fabric. Again, not a lot, but I love it. Do we need to make a vintage patchwork quilt with all of these scraps? Hell yes, I think we do. It occurs to me that I've actually got a friend of mine getting married soon, and she would probably appreciate a patchwork wedding quilt, so maybe? Finally, something with a decent amount. This is a really nice green fabric. I genuinely love this. I'm not sure if it's silk or if it's satin. It just feels really silky, but these green floral fabric here. Well, this one looks cute. Don't know how much this is going to be, but it's a really awesome ocean fabric. This is another one I would kill to have more fabric of. There's a lot of tiny scraps of it, but this is so cute. It is quite thin though. I'm holding this up to the camera lens for the B-roll shot, and honestly, I can see the viewfinder and the light it gives off behind that. Wouldn't want to have my underwear underneath that, put it this way. This is like sunset. It looks like it was an image and the bottom of the image has been cut off. I would still use this. This is interesting. I see ruffles. Oh, hello. So this is a half-made shirt. Got to be honest, I think it makes me look like a pear. If we belt test it, I suppose it's okay, but honestly, this is not something I am ever going to wear, so I think maybe we'll just wash it on delicate and find it a new home, because I would like it to go to somewhere where it's going to get loved and worn, and that is not with me. We have some lovely lime green corduroy as well. Now this is cute. It looks like there's a few scraps of this. Oh, hello. Those almost look like pieces of something. Okay, so it does seem they are just scraps, but there's a fair amount of it. And how nice is this check? This is kitten clown fabric. Oh, I can't decide if I love this or hate this. What do you guys think? Oh, the sparkly roses with elastic that has definitely gone off. This is lovely. Oh, I wish I had meters and meters of this. We have some scraps of tartan with pins in. I hate it. I don't do this in my own stash because I end up stabbing myself randomly. Is that a Hessian bag? Yes, yes it is. Several cut up Hessian bags. What they were cut up for, I have no idea. But you know what? Oogie boogie dress, anyone? Oh, I love this fabric. Just look at that pattern. It's heavy enough that I feel it would wear really nicely, but it's light enough that I think in the heat it would do well. Come on, give me some big pieces. I want to make dresses. Oh look, I think we've already had this one, but you know, more of it never goes amiss. Now this one is nice. This is such a 60s pattern. It's like a crepe as well. That is cool. This is cute. It's like a pink, but it has like a lace design to it. So this box is surprisingly large. I don't know why I'm surprised. I could see it was massive. In a minute, Ben's gonna come in here and see all the fabric all over the floor that I need to organize, and he's probably gonna kill me, so let's carry on. Ooh, pretty lace. This stuff is actually really, really nice. Why is it all scraps though? I want something I can craft with. Is patchwork just going to be my life now? Is this what I'm going to be reduced to in order to use up all these scraps and not be murdered by my husband due to my fabric hoarding addiction? Pink glittery floof. Ooh, pretty. So I'm guessing these two fabrics were two halves of a project and they go so well together. I love it. We have a suspicious paper bag and more scraps. And now, ow, something just stabbed me. Why do things keep stabbing me with this? Now a packet full of gloves. Look at the top of those, aren't they cute? Look at the embroidery on this. Isn't that gorgeous? Aw, some cute little peach ones. Oh, that's cool. So I'm not sure if it's elastic or just detail, but they've got this awesome zigzag down the back of the hand. Ooh. I like these. I like these a lot. So we have some more pink florals up next. We also have these more delicate pink and orange florals. Red and white polka dots. Finally, a decent amount of fabric. It's not very wide, but I think we can make that work. And again, it seems like we're in luck because this seems to be a decent amount of fabric and it's a very unique one. I quite like this. This is just my color. Again, it seems to be a very narrow fabric, but we also seem to have several meters of it. So potentially a top or a short dress. It is cotton, so it's non-stretch, but you know, we can make this work. Well, this has to be one of the most interesting prints I've ever seen. We have a tiger print. I have no idea what this fabric is. It's almost like a toweling, but there is actually a solid amount of that. So, I don't know, does it suit me? Scraps of red and scraps of blue. I see shearing. It seems we have a half-made shearing sleeve. I wonder if we've got a second one to go with it. That's a really nice fabric as well. I cannot describe to you how nice the texture is on this. I'm not quite sure really what it is. I think it's a cotton, but it's like a textured cotton and there is a decent amount of it. Yes! It looks like we have a little pile of scraps here, but they're super cute scraps. So we're gonna quickly go through them without throwing them on the floor. Blue roses, more red polka dots, gorgeous pink and orange flowers, gorgeous green flowers, very gorgeous watercolor style. So many scraps of this green and orange that I really wish I had a meter or two of it. Pink tartan with little cross-stitch designs, some lovely green and white polka dots, and this utterly amazing paisley. Oh, carrier bag. I see ruffles. Is this a maid thing? Oh, hello, I think it is. This dress, honestly, I'm not in love with. It does technically fit, but I just don't think it looks very good. It really emphasizes my hips, which is already the largest part of me and really doesn't need any emphasis. If we put a belt on, honestly, it just doesn't really help things. I think this is one that I'm probably gonna pass on at some point, and probably some point soon, because honestly, no, we don't like this. Oh, now that's lovely. Nice duck egg blue lace, just my color. Has some nice blue and white and brown and gold stripes. That's pretty dandy, to be honest. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Isn't this fabric just stunning? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It is very shiny, but I'll put up with shiny if it means fashion. I'm running out of room to sit. Ooh, this could be interesting. Yes, they are more gloves. So these pink ones are a bit different to what I've seen before. They've got these lovely see-through inserts and this little collar, and honestly, if this doesn't scream Barbie, I don't know what does. We have a crocheted handkerchief and an embroidered one, another embroidered one, and another, and two more. How cute are these? Oh, these are really long leather gloves. Given that this is from the 1950s, so it's 70 years old, I'm not going to push it. I don't think my hands are going to fit in there, but stunning. So this is a pair of what I think is driving gloves, and they are so cute. Oh yes, they look very nice. On that note, I actually did want to ask your guys' opinion, because how do you feel about wearing old clothes? Like things from the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s. I suppose we can count the 70s and the 80s and even the 90s now. Oh jeez, making me feel old. Because my opinion is that if it's there, it should probably be being worn. Like, I get that some pieces are better off in a museum for preservation, but your average day-to-day clothing that people will have had, I mean, why can't we carry on wearing it now? But I know that some people have been really telling me off for this, so I want a consensus. I want comments and rationales in the comments. Please let me know, because I have mixed feelings about it, because a lot of my favorite outfits are older clothing, and I do take care of them and I do love them and adore them, but I understand that obviously because they're old, they're a lot more delicate and a lot harder to take care of as well. I missed it. There was more gloves. Oh, there's this thing as well. What is this? Well, someone was clearly religious. So you've got this little leather card, and on the inside is what I'm guessing is a Bible quote and some stamped metal with St. Christopher and Jesus on. There you go. Right way up now. Is this underwear? Oh my gosh, it is. More gloves? Louise, what do you need all these gloves for? These are still in packets as well. This whole unboxing has just turned into a glove try-on video. These leather gloves are very stiff, so I think they might need some saddle soap on them really to soften them up, or something else along those lines. I do believe it is going to fit. Maybe I should start wearing gloves to work. Sat at my computer doing a bunch of typing with gloves on. People will find it very odd, I'm sure. Oh, look, they've still stitched together, literally never been worn. That is nice. Those are really, really nice. Look at the stitching detail in the back, and they come up so long. I'm happy with these. Is anyone else getting tired? I'm getting tired. This is a large box. So I have just seen the time. I started this unboxing at about 5 p.m. It's just gone 9:30. Satin, satin, satin. Not a big amount of each. Into the scrap bucket. This amazing flower stuff. Can I just have 10 meters of that, please? Okay, trying to fight through them. But this is so nice, and there is so little of it. So this one's cool. It's like green polka dots with little stars in. I like it. This one's also totally cute. All the flowers overlapping is kind of Liberty style, but definitely not Liberty fabric. This one's quite adorable, but unfortunately it's going in the scraps because there's just not enough. Who doesn't love some nice brown corduroy? I might have to make an outfit out of this. I think this fabric, there is enough of it. Do you know what? I think it's a bed sheet. There is enough of this to make one of those patterns. I'm not sure which one of those patterns, but enough of this to make one of those vintage patterns. Yes, finally, we're getting there. Tell me which pattern I should make and I will do it. And I will even do it on the vintage sewing machine. Some red and white striped scraps, some pink rose scraps, which to be fair, looks like it might be enough to line a corset. Oh my gosh, this fabric is amazing. It's not fabric. Is that a shirt? Oh, please say this is going to fit me. We need to try this on so badly. Look at the patterns on that. So this shirt is 110% a winner. Though I didn't notice it when I was looking at it from the box. It has a big bold hole in. I think I can fix that. Worst case scenario, we'll patch it up. It'll be fine. But just look how cute it is. I think it's supposed to be a men's shirt, but I don't care. It suits me. It is my colors. Of course, it passes the belt test. So if I can just patch it up, this will genuinely be one of my work shirts. I have no idea what this fabric is, but again, beautiful texture, beautiful watercolor painted style of fabric. Very unique. I don't think I've ever seen something quite like it before, you know. Some woolen tartan scraps. Very nice, and to be fair, it would go very well with my hair. What do you think of all this fabric? Some nice black and white tartan. A big amount of that watercolor fabric. I'm not unhappy about this because honestly it looks really nice. Ooh, this is good. Is this hemmed? Wait, is this a clothing item. We seem to have a purple skirt. Looks homemade. Ah, the pencil skirt. Probably not my first choice of fashion, especially in lavender, which we've covered before isn't exactly my best colour. However, this one does seem to fit me quite nicely, so it will stay. Curious thing about this though, you can see here that the waistband seems to have been extended, so I'm going to take a wild guess and say that she made this, and later down the line she put on a bit of weight and needed to add an extra inch or so, and so had to use a different fabric, or I think maybe it's twill tape. I mean, it's not that noticeable, and honestly, this is such lovely fabric. I'm sure we can do something with it, but I don't know. It does seem like a very appropriate thing to wear to the office, except that I don't really like the cling to my hips feeling, so we'll work with it. Talking of skirts, have I ever wanted to be a lampshade? No, but I'm willing to give it a try.
What the?
Yes. So this has to be the weirdest thing, other than the leopard print.
It makes you look like a blue traffic cone.
I feel like a blue traffic cone, you know?
What's up with that collar?
I have no idea. I haven't even seen this in a mirror yet, but it feels terrible. It looks terrible. Alright, this
it's
is
like a nylon. Do you know what it reminds me of?
Go on.
The bottom of bloody curtains.
So I am now a curtain. I'm not going to keep this one. I can't keep this one. This
look in the mirror, Annabelle.
Yeah, okay, I'll look in the mirror. I mean, it's definitely 1960s, isn't it? Not in a good way. We have some scraps of a nice tartan print, some scraps of a nice orange tartan print, a semi-decent amount of some lovely blue and red polka dots. I don't know what I would make with it, but it is nice. We have quite a lot of scraps of this pink fabric. I do kind of like it, but honestly, it's definitely not my favourite one that we've pulled out of this box. Same with these purple flowers. It just looks a bit faded and not that nice. Having said that, they're definitely going to be used for something. Now, this one we again have a semi-decent amount of, and honestly, I love this. The fabric is awesome. Some kind of cotton crepe, maybe? I again wish I had more of this blue stuff. It is so pretty. I think we might have had this one earlier, but green flowers always my thing, and especially when they're in a nice shiny floaty material. Ooh, purple roses. Now that's something different. Finally, a decent amount of fabric. This is a really nice one. Is this fabric or is this a dress? Oh, this is a dress. So I think this might be another dress that I can wear to work. I think it might be some kind of cotton or cotton blend, but either way, it is thin, it is soft, but it covers everything that it needs to cover, and honestly, I love it. Why, yes, I do believe that passes the belt test, and on Ben's suggestion, isn't that right, darling? We're going to try wearing this one with my glasses. 1960s school teacher vibes, here I come. Oh, actually though, we might be onto a winner here, guys. And just look how cute the fabric pattern is. So this fabric seems to have a bunch of stickers still on it. It feels like a thin upholstery fabric, maybe some kind of textured cotton. Very cute though. This one is an odd one. It's like a really thin mesh fabric, but it's actually got a printed pattern on. I mean, I like it. I'm just not quite sure how I would use it. What do you reckon? Oh look, this fabric still has its label on. It cost 10 coupons? Does that mean ration coupons? Like World War II ration coupons? I suppose 1950s. Potentially. Look at that. Gosh, I actually kind of feel bad using this now. So nice though, such a good fabric. Oh look, we've got another one, 3 3/4 meters. This again is a beautiful fabric, though unfortunately it does have a small stain on the back here. The thing that gets me is if they've gone out and spent ration coupons on these, and then it hasn't been used. Fabric was tough during World War II. It wasn't something everybody could get. And they've gone out and they spent ration coupons on it and not used it. It's a whole pile of them. This is the same fabric, just in a slightly different color. It doesn't seem to have the label, and it does seem to have had something cut out of it at least. So all of these fabrics do seem to have slight stains on them, which is a little bit of a downside, but honestly, it's nothing I can't work around. Is that more sewing patterns? Oh my gosh, it is. So I'm not gonna open this because I think this probably deserves its own thing. This seems to be a collection of hand drafted patterns. There's actually some of them that still have fabric pinned to them, and there is a lot of pins in there. This packet is falling apart. It looks like we've got another skirt pattern here. So Simplicity is normally quite good with putting years on their patterns. However, where I would expect the year to be on here has actually been torn off. Having said that, the pattern itself looks like it may not have ever actually been used. It looks like it's just been unfolded and refolded. There's no date on this one, but I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that it's about 1950s. So we've got 2 colors of this polka dot fabric, which is utterly adorable. And some stripes. Can never say no to some stripes. So glad that as we get to the bottom of this crate, we are actually getting larger pieces and green stripes with roses. I think I've got enough of this to make one of the old patterns, but which one should I make? Velvet. To be honest, not the nicest velvet. Velvet is one of those fabrics that wears a lot over time, so probably not necessarily the fabric's fault. I'm also quite surprised by how narrow this fabric is. If I open it up, it's only this wide. That's got to be old. Like, I know that back in the day they couldn't make velvet very wide just because of how it was made. Boy, is it getting late. I am running out of energy, not going to lie. Is this a tablecloth? This looks like a tablecloth. This is a nice tablecloth. I'm really not sure how to demonstrate holding this tablecloth out other than to say, look, there's a tablecloth. It is massive. Honestly, this thing could cover my entire bed. It is very, very cool. It is embroidered and gorgeous. We have these lovely mesh parts that do have some damage, but for the most part, they're in good condition. And otherwise, all this beautiful embroidery that looks like it's been hand done. What am I going to do with this? Honestly, not a damn clue. But I am open to suggestions if you guys have any. Ooh, embroidered scrappy things. Oh, that would be so amazing if we had the rest of it. Look at that. Isn't it awesome? Icy seams. And it's green. Oh, it's my favorite shade of green. Wait a minute, guys. I think this is a genuine 1950s velvet. I think it's velvet, maybe a micro velvet circle skirt. It's a 1950. I own a 1950s circle skirt. Oh my god, this is amazing. Right, we're trying this on, and it's gonna be amazing. So honestly, I have rarely been excited about things the way I was excited about this when I realized it was a genuine 1950s circle skirt. It's gathered, it's fitted, it fits me perfectly. I mean, look, I probably wouldn't want to wear it to go out to a big meal because it's tight, but not the kind of tight that's uncomfortable, the kind of tight that means it's fitting you nicely. I think it goes great with this top. I might wear this to work next week. It is awesome. It's velvet, it's soft. It reminds me of the Grinch. I was considering doing a Grinch project next Christmas, so maybe this is the world telling me that I definitely should. Honestly, I just love it. It could do a petticoat, but I haven't really got one that's the right length. All of mine are quite above the knee or quite below where this ends, so, oh, look at this. Look how cute it is, and look at this spin! This is going to be going in my everyday wardrobe 110%. It is amazing. As far as I'm concerned, it is the best thing that I have found in this box. Yay! 1950s circle skirt, and it's all mine. Not that I'm trying to make you guys jealous or anything. Of course not. Would never do that. Ooh, this is lovely. It's almost like... oh god, the dust on that. Jesus, it's almost like very light Hawaiian shirt. That went straight into my lungs. Oh, my eyes are watering. Jeez. White and blue polka dots, always nice. Now, this was the fur that I actually knew about. I don't know what creature this came from, but this is a one piece, so it's clearly a very large creature. It's a scarf that hangs like this, and it does have some like little button hooks really put together so that it stays around your shoulders. Given that she is a bow tie made out of leopard fur, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say this is bear. I think this is some kind of skirt. We'll give that a try on, see how it goes. So because this was see-through, I thought I would try it on over the top of the circle skirt, and then I realized when I put it on, it actually goes perfectly. Like, it's the same length, it's the same shape, and I'm kind of wondering if this is how it was meant to be worn, if it was supposed to be an accessory to the circle skirt. The colors do go together very well. I haven't got a matching top or anything, and I feel like it probably would have had a matching top. It is seriously cute, and I am definitely going to be keeping this pink thing so that I can use it like this in the future. I'm not sure. Do you guys think they go together? They're meant to? I love this though. How to tell you guys that I feel like a 1950s princess without telling you that I feel like a 1950s princess. It's almost like a lace, but it's actually a printed organza, I think. Oh, we have a scrap of this lovely woven wool material. Quite nice, really. Can you guys see the scrap bucket's nearly full? I actually love that. It's so cute. Oh, this is quite a cool one. I'm not going to unroll it because it looks like there is a little bit there, but it's a very interesting pattern. This feels very heavy. Oh, is this a dress? It doesn't seem like the edges are done. I can see lots of hand stitching, so this looks like something she's half made. So honestly, I was prepared to love this dress, and I am horribly disappointed. The material is very heavy, which is not the end of the world. You know, we are in Australia, but there is winter. It is a thing that we get a bit cooler. What I'm disappointed about though is that where the waistline is nearly 2 inches above my actual waist, and it just looks... Is this a maternity dress? Is that what I'm wearing? I don't know if it needs to be finished or fixed. The hem is an utter mess. The zip, you know, is damaged, kind of looks like it was sewn in there at some point and it's all come off. Yeah, okay, look, I suppose with a belt this is workable, but honestly, I don't know. I really loved the idea of a green checkered dress and I was very excited about it, and now that I'm wearing it, it doesn't feel great. Okay, this fabric is so nice. I have no idea what era it's from. It is a dress. All right, looking at the style, I'm gonna say 60s. I'm fairly sure this is gonna be too big, but I'm also fairly sure we can adjust this. Plus, look at that pattern. You know what? I quite like this. I mean, it isn't my normal style, but for a 1960s dress, I think it's fairly cute. It does seem to fit me. If anything, it's a little bit big, but nothing a belt can't fix, right guys? Now that is much better. I love this fabric. It's very synthetic, but you know what? It's pretty and that's all that matters. Okay, now this fabric I am in love with, but it does look like it's got a bit of mold going on, and it's hemmed. Guys, it's hemmed because it is a dress. Now I only actually realized when I was putting this on that the waistband and the hem are actually only attached by pins, and as you can see we have quite the opening where a zipper is intended to go just there. However, I like this. This is cute. It's not as light and flowy as some of the other dresses that I've gotten in this are, and there's no pockets, which I actually thought these were pockets, but they're not. They're just not ruches, not darts. Pleats. Pleats is the word that I am looking for there, but it is cute. The fabric is adorable. I love the square neckline. I am a big fan of square necklines. Certainly it's going to look great with my favourite belt, and what more could I want? There is a hand needle stabbed in there, so that would be why I'm being stabbed. I think it's going to have to go in the scrap pile, but it's adorable. That actually looks like a pocket. That's a pocket. I'm guessing she made an outfit and these are the leftovers. It's such a nice fabric as well. We've got some of this lovely polka dot stripe pattern, and I would love to see the dress she made with this. Red and white stripes. Can we combine this with the leftovers of that blue? Talking of combining the red with the blue, we have some blue, red and white stripes in 2 different sizes. These are scraps, but they're pretty scraps. Look at the rose pattern. This lady clearly liked roses. This is such an 80s fabric with the purple and the blue stripes. Oh, this is a real pretty one. It's white with some green flowers. Also got some nice blue and white checks. This looks like a decent sized piece. Oh, pieces. Still, it's a really nice fabric. Now this is an interesting one. It looks to be boats and pirates. Does this one have a pattern piece attached? Oh, I believe it does. How nice is that? We have another paper bag. Lord help me if this is more gloves. Okay, so this looks like lots of scraps of lace and tulle. So now we are on to the extra things that I went and picked up while editing this video. Let us start with this little bag here. Now, there isn't too much in it, but I think what is in it is quite good. So we have several packets of this, which is cross-stitch embroidery fabric stuff. I think there is a proper name for it, and considering I used to do a lot of cross-stitch as a kid, I should probably know it, but we have several sizes and varieties all neatly folded and packaged. So those can go into my embroidery drawer. I will be quite excited to use them. We have this, which is so cute. So this is, I think, a bib or part of a child's outfit. I don't think it will fit me, sadly, but it is utterly adorable, hand embroidered, and so cute. This wool I actually think is the extra wool to go with the shawl. Did we show you the shawl yet? We maybe didn't show you a shawl yet. Let's show you the shawl. So along with the other stuff that I went and picked up as an extra to this video was this included, and this is a knitted shawl. It is utterly gorgeous and very cozy. This was made, she said, by her grandma, so I think that means the lady who also made the 1930s wedding dress. It is amazing. I double checked with her that she wanted to give this away, and she was certain because it's not the kind of thing she would use. Honestly, it is the kind of thing I would use because I like to snuggle up on the sofa and just, you know, get in here. The only downside to this is that it is a little bit itchy, which I'm 90% sure means that this is 110% like real wool, which, you know, 1930s, I don't think they really had the plasticky wool yet. So that would make sense. This really is just amazing. Unlike the rest of the clothing that I have obtained in this haul, this one is not going through the wash. I'm just going to hang it out on our balcony for a little bit, see if we can get some sun and fresh air. It doesn't actually smell as bad as the other stuff did, and again, the other stuff, it's just been sat around for too long in a bit of an old crate. So I think hanging it out on the balcony for some sunlight and whatnot should more or less do this, because I really don't want to ruin it. Just look at that knitting pattern. Isn't it amazing? I feel like this would go so well with a Victorian house dress or house coat. Now that would be amazing. So yes, this wool I think is the stuff that the shawl is actually made out of. It's very cute, very soft. Could potentially be used for doll's hair, I suppose, but the pieces, there's not a lot left here, so I don't know what I'm going to use it for. For the moment, I'll probably just stick it in my stash. I'm sure I'll figure something out to do with it eventually. We then have this lovely peach fabric. Oh, you know what? This might go well with that peach overskirt that went on top of the green circle skirt. I'll have to check it and see if they match in colour, because that would be amazing. And then the last thing in this bag is checks. Matches what I'm wearing perfectly, right? So lovely blue and green checks. Kind of feels like the stuff you'd normally use for a men's shirt, and there is quite a fair bit in here. Maybe I should make one of the blouses that I have a pattern for, or a dress. Or have I not shown you guys the patterns? Oh, I haven't shown you guys the patterns. Right, so let's have a look at the other random bits and pieces that I collected when I I went back to grab more stuff from this lady, and then I will show you the main thing that I went back for. So this is our box of patterns, and as you can see, the wedding dress one, because I was showing this off a little bit earlier, is on the top. We've then got some lovely knitting patterns. I don't actually knit, but I am going to keep these just in case. And we have a sewing magazine. Now, one thing that I noticed about this magazine is that she's actually drafted the pattern pieces for some of the outfits and put them inside. So this looks like it's the pattern for a coat, which means this is definitely going on my pattern shelf so that we can recreate it. Additionally, there's a bit of a pile here of some other handmade pattern pieces. No, I have absolutely no clue what most of this is for, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. So I'm guessing she probably was using wrapping paper to draft her patterns. Some things never change, because that's what I still do today. Summer dressmaking magazine. Kind of weird that it's landscape, but not bad. 1969, guys. Oh, now that's lovely. Got to love Vogue. Some more Vogue. Someone was clearly into their fashion. Got some here that have been folded up. I won't bother unfolding them now because honestly, that'd probably be more hassle than it's worth. Now that's a good one. I love that. As is this. If you see any you like, guys, please let me know, because I think that I am probably going to be making some of these, but I need to decide what to make first. Oh, now this one is interesting. So fun fact, I actually have the recreation of this pattern, I think. Honestly, there are just so many patterns in here. Look, we've got underwear and everything, got some kids ones as well. I don't think I can realistically show you guys all of these. They're so amazing, they're so special, but honestly, there are so many. I am not quite sure how many there are, so I'm going to unpack all of this, ooh, smocking, and hand over to voiceover Annabelle so that she can tell you exactly when the patterns are from and also how many we actually got. There is 109 patterns here in total, which is utterly insane. The majority of them seem to be Vogue, closely followed by some McCall's and Butterwick, with a few other random small ones that I've never heard of thrown in there, and all of them look to have all the pieces. For the most part, I didn't actually unpack them because I'm not unpacking 109 different sewing patterns to make sure everything is included when I'm not immediately sewing with them. However, I think that this is going to have to be a little series where we recreate some lovely historical fashions using the fabric that I got from this lady as well, because oh my gosh, this is insane and they are so lovely. So this lovely darling is the other thing that we got given when we went back to collect the extra stuff. She has not been adjusted to my size, but she is adjustable. She's also made of metal, much more heavy, much more solid than the one I currently use, which I did get for 50 bucks off Facebook Marketplace. So I think she will be staying, and we now need names for the mannequins because we have more than one. Technically, I own 4 mannequins. I've got the one that I originally got in New Zealand that then ended up in the UK. I've got the one that I got over here. I got the one for Ben, the men's Victorian one that we got in the UK, and now we have this one, which she thought was from about the 1940s. Honestly, she's super cool. I'm hoping all the gears work. I haven't tested her out yet. I'm probably not for a little while, but how did I get this lucky, guys? Like, if the lady who has given me this is seeing this video, thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. This is honestly amazing and one of my highlights of my life. I mean, I'm literally prancing around my house right now showing off all the amazing things you gave me while wearing your mother's clothes. Enough said there, really. I love it so much. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to drop it a like and subscribe, because clearly I need to do a lot of vintage sewing coming up. Honestly, I think getting all this stuff was really good timing because I was about to start filming sewing things on my vintage sewing machines, so now we have not only patterns but fabric from the years the sewing machines were made that we can use to make things on. How do I get this lucky finding stuff? Honestly, I have no idea, but apparently I do. Having said that, I am always looking for more fabric and sewing patterns and lovely vintage sewing tools. So if you are based in Perth, Australia, and you have a family member who maybe doesn't want their old sewing stash, please give me a shout on Instagram. A few people have now when they're getting rid of old sewing machines, and I really appreciate it. I will give them a loving home and I will use it to the best of my abilities. Do I really need more fabric right now? No. In fact, if I got some, Ben might just kill me. However, that is not completely my concern. So with that little nugget, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe because I will be back next Wednesday with more cosplay, vintage sewing, and vintage sewing machine content. What am I making? I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out so that I can show it off to you guys as soon as possible. Bye! And as always, a massive thank you to my wonderful, beautiful, amazing patrons, Canuck Nancy 42, Chandrila Webster, Anna, Ganny Meadows, and Kelly Nelson. You guys are the best and you make these videos possible. I hope you enjoy getting early access to them, and if you guys want early access too, remember to check out the link in the description down below.